What's happening, people? It's Winston Gay here from Open Hands Art and Animation. Today we will be talking about Milestone Comics. All right. So we're on this page, Milestone Media. All right. And we're going to be reading about Dwayne Mcduffie, one of the founding members of Milestone Comics. I remember years ago, I went to this convention called ECBOC, okay, which I believe stands for something like the East Coast Black Comics Conventions, something like that. You can look it up online, but it's basically like ECBACC, something like that. And they were in West Philly. And I went there and attended it, and I think it was my first time ever being at ECBOC, and it was really, really good. Okay, they had some of the founding members from Milestone there. This is maybe like I can't remember how many years ago. It was a while ago. All right. And man, I was so proud to be able to be there and hear these guys talk on the panels. Maybe like four of the guys, three or four. Man, I said, man, like this is really cool. You know what I mean? I mean, I really never realized, all the work that they did. Okay, now this guy right here, for example, Dwayne Mcduffie, this guy was like a genius. I mean, this dude literally went to college when he was like, I think 11 or 12 years old. Okay, who you know who's 12 years old in college? Okay, I went to college and I was 16, but this guy was literally 11 years old. I mean, I probably was in like middle school, okay, when this dude was literally in college. Don't make any sense, okay. He helped produce a lot of Justice League shows, movies, whatnot. Dwayne McDuffie. But let's get into this, okay? So let's start reading right now. We're gonna get right into it. Dwayne McDuffie and Milestone Media's impact on the superhero genre, okay? Now, I think there's a grammatical error in here, but you'll see it when I read, okay? The comic book business has changed drastically over the last few decades, especially on the creative side. There's more representation in the panels and subsequently on the small and silver screens than there ever have been, should say ever has been before. Okay. On the other side of that same token, the faces of the people who write, draw, and color these characters to life every month are also changing. Although it's taken much longer than it should have, and there are still miles yet to come in terms of black, brown, Asian, and women creators of all different kinds of sexual identities being given their just due in the industry. In every story of change, there are trailblazers who along the way open doors, change precedent, and leave them cracked for the next person to come through. Milestone Media was without a doubt one of the most significant groups of those trailblazers in the comic book and animation mediums. Founded by Dwayne McDuffie, Denise Cowan, Derek Dinglin, Michael Davis in 1993, Milestone made history in a deal with DC Comics that was unheard of, especially for a black company. So this right here, this guy's name Icon. Okay, really cool hero. I believe Icon, he was actually on Justice League, the cartoon. I don't know if it was Justice League Unlimited, maybe both of them, but he was on there. We got Static Shock, he had his own show. Okay. And then we have here Hardware. Okay. Some people may say it was like the Black Iron Man. And I mean, his story alone is really cool. There's a guy on YouTube who has, there's probably a few, but I saw one guy on YouTube like months ago who had, I don't know, I'm not saying his videos made months ago. I watched months ago. It was a video that the guy had put up. Um, it could be years off, I don't know. But essentially, he has a video online talking about hardware and tells about, I mean, the story that they made for this guy. And it's a really, really interesting and good story, in my opinion. Okay. About how he got to be who he is and so on and so forth. None of these people we seen really in any major film, any major DC film. Okay. So hopefully one day that'll happen, you understand? And I don't see why DC want to do that. So we'll probably see them soon. Okay, hopefully. Going back to this, let's start. Where I stop right here. Okay, let's go down. McDuffie and Crew signed a publishing deal that gave DC the right to limited license of the characters, editorial works, and other creative content that came out of Milestone. But the company retained complete editorial control as well as the copyrights. Milestone had the last say on all merchandising and licensing in regards to the properties they created. That's what's up. It's been noted that the DC officials were often uncomfortable with Milestone's storyline arcs in their books. But because of the deal they signed and the accomplishments of the company's founder in the comic book mainstream, almost all the issues they wrote saw the light of day and sold just and, and sold just many books. Maybe I'm supposed to say just many books or more than every black comic company releasing content at the time combined. Okay, but McDuffie and his partner's journey doesn't start at Milestone Comics. His very first gig in the business was an assistant editor at Marvel Comics under Bob Biensky, I guess to say Budinsky, for special projects. And one of the projects that began his comic book career was helping the company develop the first superhero trading cards. From there, McDuffie went on to become an editor at Marvel in his own right, but he and his employer didn't always see eye to eye. And he had a very unique way of making his disagreement with them known. To bring light internally to his feelings about Marvel's treatment of black characters at that time. Now remember, this is not 2018. This is not, when Black Panther was dropped or whatever. This is not 2016. It's not 2015. This is in the 90s, okay? And they were formed in 93. Okay, so this is a while ago, okay? Some of you guys listening to this probably may not even been born at that time, okay? I want you to know that. I was born in the 80s, and I'm saying right now that things are very different. And I'm not even that old. I'm born in the 80s. I'm in my 30s, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, people that are much older than me that have seen things much worse, when it comes to black people being shown. And, it's really appropriate. I'm talking about this also because it's Black History Month, but, in my opinion, every month should be Black History Month. But anyway, you think about it, black people being shown on the big screen is something that you may not have seen a lot. You really didn't see a lot, except for when it came to them being put in black exploitation films. Okay, and that's bit like stuff like what was it? All kind of stuff. Coffee. I think it was called Shaft. Just movies that kind of made this be seen in a cliche way. A lot of them were making black people push. Making actors basically push negative stereotypes about us. Okay. But those movies, as they say, really saved Hollywood. Hollywood was going on, was losing money, going bankrupt. And those black exploitation films, they kept pushing them because they started making tons of money. Okay. So anyway, it says, so basically, let's start reading right here again. To bring light internally to his feelings about Marvel's treatment of black characters at the time, McDuffie submitted a spoof proposal comic named Teenage Negro Ninja Thrashers. Let's see if we click in here. See what it says. Dwayne Mcduffie proposal for a new series, Teenage Negro Ninja Thrashers. This is my first time reading, so it's supposed to be like the hood version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Negro Ninja Thrashers. And he presented this in 89. Wow. First draft, 89. In the past year, 25% of all African American superheroes appearing in the Marvel Universe possess skateboard-based superpowers. In the attempt to remain on the cutting edge of comics, I hereby propose a new series that will fully exploit the exciting new trend, Teenage Negro Ninja Thrashers. Now, if you'll notice, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was basically all the rage, was really popping basically back then, okay, and into the 90s also. That's one reason why he's doing this, because they said it's basically like a spoof proposal, okay. When a group of teenage Negroes find cosmic power skateboards, their lives are forever changed. A team of distinct characters join together, swearing an oath to use their powers for good. Rocket Racer, a black guy on a skateboard. Night Thrasher, a black guy on a skateboard. Dark Wheelie, a black guy on a skateboard. And their leader, the mysterious black guy. And their leader, the mysterious black guy on a skateboard, known only as that mysterious black guy on a skateboard. This is a surefire hit, as it contains all of these popular elements, circa 1974 clothing and hairstyles, bizarre speech patterns, unrecognizable by any member of any culture on the planet. A smart white friend that helped them out of the trouble they get into. Now, some of y'all know that's true. they always got that guy there. They're heroes who could be you if you were black. I mean, okay, we got a point there. They're on skateboards. That's also very attractive. They have an attractive white female friend to calm them down when they get too excited. Face it, Pilgrim. This one's got it all. If I made my point. This actually is something I wish that someone would make. Actually, I need to go online and research and see if someone actually did do this. This would be very entertaining, in my opinion, for real. You know what I mean? Teenage Negro Ninja Thrashers. I think that nigga would be a super hit right there. After leaving Marvel, let me go back real quick to make sure I didn't skip over here. Okay, we good. Okay, so anyway, let's keep going. After leaving Marvel to freelance for a few years at places like DC and Archie Comics, Milestone would be born. The company's focus on creating characters of color that were accurately represented from a cultural perspective was definitely not a main focus for many of the other mainstream publishers at the time. And from the creative collective of founders came titles that are still cemented in the zeitgeist of comic book history, like A Young Virgil Hawkins in Static, and the African American answer to Superman Icon. Okay, because Icon was kind of like a black Superman. That's basically what they're saying. He's like the African. They said African American answer to Superman Icon. For the first time, there was an abundance of issues on the shelves of comic book shops all across America featuring black characters, thanks to distribution from DC Comics. There were other black companies at the time Milestone was in its heyday, but because of the lack of funding, many of them couldn't move past getting their local mom and they couldn't move past, they're basically their local mom and pop shops. Okay, I was gonna say really quickly also, that's what I'll talk about often. Okay, even when I review things like WandaVision and so on, I talk about how, you know, people who are on a smaller level, on a smaller, who are small independents, it's not easy to get into some of these, big companies. Okay, and even if you get in there, you could basically become like a robot, in my opinion. I remember years ago, my dad used to tell me, he said, "Yeah, man," he said, "one day my son's gonna be working for Disney," and I was looking like, I don't want to work for no Disney. I don't want to work for them. It's things that they do, and a lot of stuff they write that I don't even agree with. I mean, you think about it. Yeah, I'm not saying that Disney has to do this. I'm just saying that, because I think it is important. Think about the last time, well, I should say last time, but think about, though, if you talk about the last time you went to find one, but think about, you know, when Disney actually started introducing black people into um, major roles in their cartoons. Okay, think about it. I think the first time you saw something like that was when they had that movie with the guy it was like the lady and the guy who was supposed to, who looked similar to me in black, but I only think he was even black, and it was had something to do with a frog or something like that. I forget what it was called. I don't know the name of it. I never even watched it, but I know that was like the movie that people said was basically like the first time Disney is introducing black people and had a black woman as like a princess or something like that. Before that, of course, there was a Lion King. The Lion King didn't have any black people in it, but it was in Africa. And the Lion King was one of the most successful and memorable Disney properties today. Okay, they still run the Lion King, Broadway plays and everything still today. That stuff is still, as far as I know, okay, that stuff. And I mean, I myself have filmed a few Lion King plays myself. Okay, because I do video. Okay, so I filmed a few myself. All right, and they were all really, really good. Okay, and it's the music alone. Okay, carried a lot of it. Okay, but they were really, really good. And all the kids in the production and all people in the production are very, very happy to be involved in that. Okay, you think about how Disney just, even seeing all that success, because for many years, especially in the 90s and even before then, we think about we're only in the 2000 20s, but it may seem like it's a long time ago. It really isn't in the 90s, and all before then, black people were just seen as, helpers. Okay, people who could be supporting, someone who was white or someone who was just not black. Okay, so once again, I personally don't want to, just become a member, worker for Disney or whoever, or even DC or whatever. I want to. I'm pushing my own company, Open Hands Art and Animation. That's why I came over here and I say, thank you for watching. I always say that, I was Winston Gay here from Open Hands Art and Animation. That's what I push. Okay. Now, if you don't have your own art company and you want to just work for someone, there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like I know that some of these folks, and that's why I've mentioned what Disney has done in the past, they have a way of doing things where they won't really, I mean, think about it. Here, this guy is Dwayne Mcduffie. I believe it's Dwayne Mcduffie. He put this out here, okay, and he's basically trying to say, look, like this is what y'all, this is what y'all want. This is basically, how y'all think. I remember I was in school many years ago. I was in college, okay. I remember I asked my college teacher, I said, why is it that, now my college teacher, I had this was in my storyboarding class. Okay, I had a storyboarding class in college. I went to college for animation and whatnot, and art basically. And I remember I asked my teacher, I said, why is it that they're not more dynamic, basically cartoons? Why don't people try to do this and that? Why aren't there people trying to do a lot of things that I can think of right now? And he said basically because this guy worked on a show. He storyboarded for a show called Samurai Jack that used to come on Cartoon Network. I think they even revived it. Okay, recently. But anyway, he storyboarded for that a lot. Okay, and he would show us his work and so on and so forth. And he taught us storyboard. Okay? He was a very hard teacher. I'll tell you that right now. His name was Mike Manley. And I remember that he told us, he said, hey, man, he said, these people they're not concerned about being dynamic. All they're concerned about is, money. Basically, that's what he said. He said, if something was successful before, they're trying to copy that. They don't care about being dynamic. They don't care about, doing something different. So at that time, even at that time, this was in the early 2000s when I was going to college, okay? They didn't care about putting black people, right in front of you. One of my friends, DKL, who's been on here before on his channel, he has all the time said that the movie Blade was like really the movie that allowed Marvel to do everything it's done today. He always says that Blade, especially Blade One, he said was totally new when it comes to how it looks and everything that happened. Wesley Snipes pushed a lot of it. Because Wesley Snipes is an actual martial arts. He actually knows how to do all this kind of stuff. There's not a lot of people in Hollywood period that actually know how to fight. Period. Really fight, and he does. Okay, and he's a good actor. So I'm just saying to say that that's why me personally I feel like I want to do what I want to do because the way these people think, even if I were to get in there, I feel like I would still be confined to what they want to do. Still be confined to Disney or whoever, how they want to push stuff. Now some of these people seem to be more open. Like I heard, for example, that they were gonna make a Black Panther, a Wakanda, okay, TV show. Okay, it's coming soon. That they're pushing right now. Okay, Ryan Coogler, who basically directed Black Panther, the movie, for Disney, and they saw that was a success. And said, okay, well, it was a huge success. I mean, Black Panther is really the most successful thing they ever put out. They may say, well, the other movies made more money than them, but the reality is that Black Panther made more money. Black Panther made more money in any of those films without China, because if you remember, China did not support Black Panther because people in China didn't want to see black people. Okay, just true. A lot of movies, even in America, that are not Disney, not comic movies, period. They may just be action movie, whatever, because they're big, or just a movie. A lot of times they depend on China because China is, many times larger than the United States. Okay, the United States has like 300-something million people, whatever case it be. China is in the billions. Okay, they got a billion plus people there. Okay, so that's like multiple Americas. Okay, so if you can get something over there, you can make a lot of money. Okay, and people over there are less, in my opinion, less judgmental when it comes to what comes from America than we are anyway. So everyone's trying to get their stuff over there to be seen. All right, so to have a movie like Black Panther, that's the first major film like that, because Blade preceded it, but like that, the way it was done, especially from Disney, that was never done seen before, to be basically shunned by China. And also, it wasn't just the people that want to watch. Also, it really didn't get like distribution at certain places because people in China just didn't want to have it even there, because they said, well, if we have it, no one is going to watch it. Okay, so it just wasn't even available in certain places. Also, okay. Then on top of that, because once again, it's all about money, and do we believe it's going to make money or not? Then on, so it's just a lot that goes on. This entails. Okay, and Black Panther still, with all of that, when they came out, I think it was like the #1 Marvel movie. Even at that time, even when without China period, still at one point was like the #1 movie. I think at one point it was the #1 movie in all history, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, at one point. So it was probably surpassed by like Endgame or something like that. Okay, which once again then it had China, which Black Panther did not have. Okay, I'm not trying to say go to the tap. I'm just trying to say look and see how when we put out stuff, it's about we put out things that are different. It's not just the black experience, but it's different. Okay, you see, and when you're allowing people to write who usually would not get the opportunity to, or if they're writing, okay, they're writing about something that you want them to write about instead of about what I want to write about. Okay, we see Ryan Coogler was able to come in and make adjustments and change certain things and make the screenplay and things in a certain way so that everything could be the way he thought was appropriate. Like for example, in the movie you see that Killmonger, his roots go back to California. I forget. I think the part of California where Ryan Coogler actually is from. Okay. So we see he had some part in it. All right. I'm just saying once again that it's an uphill battle, but these people, okay, these guys, Dwayne Mcduffie and the folks from Milestone, okay, and the names that I previously that I have named here, okay, these guys did a whole lot to help push, once again, where we are today. All right, let's start reading from here. There were other black companies at the time Milestone was in its heyday, but because of lack of funding, many of them couldn't move past getting their local mom getting getting past. I keep getting stopped right here. Couldn't move past getting their local mom and pop shops, and the concept of um, e-commerce wasn't big enough yet to be of use. Okay, books like these will go on to shape young comic book readers of color in a way that was transformative. It's safe to say that without mainstream access to Milestone comics, there could easily still be even more of a living perception that black creators have no place in industry comics to tell our stories. And once again, I forgot to say this, not just Black Panther not selling in China was something for that specific year, whatever case it be, or not wanting to be pushing China, but you know before that movie came out and before that time, you know, and even to this day, they've always said, black movies don't sell overseas. Black movies do not sell overseas. Okay, black properties don't sell overseas, not just China. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that if you're a black person coming in, okay, trying to make a film about black people, okay, or black experience, make it be something worse in the hood, and they promote it in America. Okay, a Boys in the Hood type movie. Boys in the Hood is an R movie. Okay, but they're not going to push it to China. Okay, they're not going to push that all across the world. Okay, so we see that is what we're doing. Okay, so our experience, our films was just not shown all across the world. Okay, which means that when people come here, they know very little about black people. They may think that we're just gonna play basketball all day long, we eat fried chicken all day long, which is not true at all. Okay, although the most active years of Milestone Media were short-lived, the company closed its comic book division in 97. Its impact was indelible. Many creators and readers of color um, cite one or more of the company's comic book properties as an inspiration. In one way or another, McDuffie would go on to develop Static into the critically acclaimed animated series Static Shock. And I also want to say about Static Shock, Static Shock had a lot of black actors doing voice acting in that show. Okay, I mean they had like the guy, I forget his name at the moment. The guy actually did a video about him who usually plays the gangsters in the Tyler Perry movies or other films. Okay, he was in it. He was playing. I believe the guy name was Ebon, one of the villains on there. Okay, I mean they had like tons of folks. Okay, you could think almost every black actor at the time voice acting on Static Shock. Okay, I even think that the dad on Fresh Prince of Bel Air, I think he voice acted on the show. Okay, if you remember, he also Uncle Phil, he basically also voice acted for Shredder on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Okay? And that character, as well as Icon, would become widely accepted. And once again, Icon is like the Black Superman, would become widely accepted as an integral part of canon within the DC Comics Justice League universe. He also made huge contributions to other wildly successful animated childhood staples like Teen Titans with New Scooby-Doo, Justice League, and Ben 10. The legend Dwayne Mcduffie passed away back in 2011. On February 21st, one day after his 49th birthday, due to complications from emergency heart surgery. And he left us a legacy of imagination that helped birth an awareness in the industry he loved most that still informs creators all over the world today. So God bless the guy. God bless the man. And I actually heard that his brother passed away around that time. That he also passed away. It was crazy. There's actually like a short documentary on WB, I believe, on YouTube that talks about this in more in depth. Okay, about Milestone. Okay, about Dwayne Mcduffie in particular. So you may want to check that out. Okay. Now I'm making this video at the end of February. 2021. So if you're watching this later, you want to just kind of go back in time on the WB page, or just maybe search it up. Search the name, Dwayne Mcduffie, WB, and may pop up. Okay, but as long as you know that this is what I'm doing. This, so if you just, like I said, you watch this much later, you may not see it in their recent videos, of course, because it's a little older. Let's go over here really quickly too. I want to go to the IMDb of Dwayne Mcduffie here. We see this is some of the stuff that this guy's been involved in. Ben 10, okay. Ben 10 Alien Force. I never actually watched the show before, but I'm like, okay, I got more than one series. Ben 10 Ultimate Alien, Ben 10 Alien Force, Justice League Unlimited. I watched those episodes. Justice League, okay, just a show. You got Young Justice, a lot right there. Ben 10 Omniverse. I'm assuming this is actually maybe this is a movie. It's probably a movie. It's a lot of Ben 10 stuff. Justice League Doom. Remember I saw a movie. That was a pretty good movie. Ben 10 again. A lot of Ben 10. Justice League Heroes, pretty good. Crisis on Two Earth, Justice League. All right. This is long. I thought I was at the bottom. I realized more too. Justice League Starcrossed. We got a lot more. Static Shock. Okay. Wow. You work with Scooby Doo, one of my favorite cartoons. We're going to end this video for today, guys, and we're going to continue in the future about Milestone. Once again, if you have any comments, that you want to leave or information, please leave it in the comments below. I thank you for watching this video. If you could, please share this video, okay? And subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel if you can. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon for notifications. If everyone who has subscribed, thank you. But please share this video. I want to say that. I want to keep saying it because I need to say it more, because one of the best ways for this channel to grow, for people to see this video, is for something just to share it. Okay, so if you can share this video, it'll help me immensely. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this video with me and taking the time to read about Dwayne Mcduffie, one of the founding members of Milestone Comics and a Black pioneer in the comic industry. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much. Peace out.